Okay. So one of the important ideas that we want to understand in today's lecture is a topic which is very important in practice also. It is called price discrimination. It is called price discrimination. Okay. So remember what is price discrimination. Okay, it is same or similar. It is the same or similar good and service sold at different prices. Sold at different prices to different customers. Okay. So the idea here is that customers who vary in their price elasticity, or another word for this could be customers vary in terms of their willingness to pay. Okay, willingness to pay. Okay, so the idea is simple. If a customer has low or highly inelastic demand, which means customer has higher willingness to pay. If the company can identify such a buyer who has inelastic demand, higher willingness to pay, they will charge high price. Okay, and a customer who has elastic demand. Okay, elastic demand means essentially he has many alternatives, so he or she will have less willingness to pay. So for them, the firm will charge low price. Okay, and this is a very commonly used pricing technique by firms, and it is in use of what is called as a monopoly power. Remember, it's not only monopoly who practice price discrimination, but any firm under imperfect competition which has monopoly power can practice price discrimination. Okay, one very simple example is, if you buy in bulk or wholesale, then many times the per unit price is less. As against that, when you buy in retail, the price is higher. Have you got this? Is this point clear? Can you get it? Like, if you are in a market where there is wholesale or bulk demand, generally where the willingness to pay will be less and the per unit price will be low. Whereas retail customers, their expenditure is less so their willingness to pay is higher, so the price will be correspondingly higher. This is one example of what is called as price discrimination. Another example could be a novel which is having hardbound edition. Okay, hardbound edition. And you can think of a paperback edition. Tell me which is more expensive. Which is more expensive, the hardbound edition or the paperback edition? Can you type in the answer? Hardbound or paperback? Absolutely correct. Okay, you can always use short forms. No need to type in that entire word because that's difficult. You're absolutely correct. The hardbound edition is more expensive and the paperback edition is less. So this generally it is the die-hard fans, and immediately when the novel is launched, only the hardbound edition is issued. Okay, and later on the firms are launching paperback editions. So here the price is high and here the price will be low. This is another example of price elasticity. Anything that comes to your mind, do you have any example of a price product which is essentially the same but being sold at very different prices? Do you have any example that comes to your mind? Okay, fine. Let's move on. So this is the basic idea of price discrimination. That is, if you can find some way, if you can make a segregation between customers and you know their willingness to pay, so if it is high, the price that the firm will charge is also high, and if their willingness to pay is low, the price that will be charged will also be less. Okay, this is the simple thing, just keep it in mind. And if price elasticity of demand is high and here price elasticity of demand is low. This is the simple idea of price discrimination. Okay, now just remember, in theory, we are told that there are different types, of price discrimination. Types of price discrimination. Okay, and you can think of types of price discrimination as in, one is called perfect or first degree price discrimination. Okay, perfect or first degree price discrimination. Then you have second degree price discrimination. And if it is not first and second, any other practice of price discrimination is called as third degree price discrimination. Is the terminology clear? We'll define quick and see examples of what is called perfect and second. All other schemes will get pushed into third degree price discrimination. Okay, so what is first degree price discrimination? Imagine there is a doctor who is practicing in a mixed area. Mixed area is in there are rich and poor people, and the doctor knows about the people in the area who come to his dispensary. So the doctor exactly knows what is the willingness to pay of the customer. So if you charge exactly according to the customer's willingness to pay, exactly according to willingness to pay, willingness to pay. This kind of a market structure price discrimination will be called perfect or first degree price discrimination. Okay, so price is created for each and every buyer depending upon his or her willingness to pay. Have you got this? Is this clear? First degree price discrimination or perfect price discrimination. Can I proceed? Hello. I hope I am audible. Have you understood the example? Is the example clear about perfect price discrimination? Then I could go to the second degree price discrimination. Yeah, can I do that? Okay, in second degree price discrimination, the schemes of price discrimination are based on quantity purchased. Okay, like for example, I told you bulk purchase is cheap. Say for example, bulk or wholesale purchase is low priced, and high price and retail is at a high price. Okay, another quantity based price discrimination, which would be called as second degree price discrimination, is if you get certain units free, and after consuming those units you have to start paying a certain price. Like for example, it happens with electricity consumption. So this again falls under what is called as second degree price discrimination. Okay, and all the other price discrimination schemes, are called third degree price discrimination. Okay, so all price discrimination not of type 1 and type 2. Type 1 and type 2 is called degree 3 price discrimination. Third degree price discrimination. Have you got the idea that there are three types of price discrimination? First degree, second degree, and the third degree. Okay, and all this eventually relates to the price elasticity of demand. Okay, so let us check if we can solve some end of the chapter problems which have been asked on uh, price discrimination. Okay, so if you look into your textbook module, this information on price discrimination is, I think, in chapter number okay, it is 2.2. Okay, it's 2.2. Let us check if we can solve or answer some of the questions relating to price discrimination. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, they have not asked any questions on price discrimination. But yeah, okay, fine. In that case, let us look at the end of the chapter problems for chapter number 2. Since we have discussed most of these things, let us see how whether we can solve these or not. Okay, so chapter number 2, MCQs are page number 109. Chapter 2, problem set is on page number 109. Okay, are you there? Are you following this? Can I proceed? Hello. Okay, fine, absolutely good, very good. Thanks for your this thing. So, if you look at the first problem here, which of the following are essential features of the market? Okay, essential features of the market. The options are buyers, sellers, price, all three. So, one is definitely D. Okay. Markets definitely have two sides to the market. One is the buyers and the other is sellers. And the interaction of buyers and sellers determines, you have already seen, demand and supply. It determines the price. Okay. So that is what it is. Okay. We have just discussed price discrimination, and that is in chapter number 2. So let us, I was just trying to see if we can finish this chapter number 2 today. So I have started with the end of the chapter problems, and if there is some theory that is missing, I will teach you along the way when I am solving the problem. Yeah. So it's on page number 109. Okay, so if you look at problem number 2, in the long run, okay, long run, just remember this, long run generally is a situation of normal profits, okay, and therefore price is governed by, long run price is governed by cost of production, demand and supply forces, marginal utility none. Okay, so definitely it is not none, it is definitely not marginal utility, so you can leave out C and D. A and B can be potentially considered. Okay, so in that I would say cost is more important, and if you are thinking about short run price, then it's completely determined by demand and supply. But we are asked what is the long run price. So the long run price mostly depends upon cost of production. So I would select 2A. Oh, okay, we have completed this condition, so price discrimination. Yeah, we did that. So let us now quickly look at if there is any problem left in this chapter number 2. We can try to do this in 20 minutes. Then I'll give you a break, and if there are some problems on chapter number 1 on scarcity that are there, then we will solve that, so that from the next lecture we can start macroeconomics, money and financial institutions. Okay, is that fine? Both have you all, are you there with this? Okay, fine. Now just look at question number 3. In the long run, a firm in perfect competition. Okay, this is theory. Long run, firm in perfect competition gets normal profits only. Gets normal profit only. Okay. Now remember this. You can even think of it as a theory. If the price goes above average cost, the long run average cost, okay, then there is profit, and new firms will enter the market. As new firms enter, supply will increase, and demand remaining same, prices will fall. So there will be a tendency for the prices to come back towards long run average cost. If you think price is less than long run average cost, what will happen? Some firms are making a loss. Okay, they will exit the industry. Some firms who cannot finance the loss will exit industry. As they exit, supply will decrease. Okay, and as supply decreases, demand remaining same, prices will increase. So you will not. So the long run equilibrium in perfect competition is always price is equal to the long run average cost. And just remember, this is the diagram. Long run average cost, and this will be the price, P and Q. So you get something like this. Is that clear? This is the question asked in problem number 3. Okay, so we are doing this at the same time we are also revising our theory. Let's look at problem number 4 now. A firm faces a shutdown. Okay, write this: shut down situation. Shut down situation is faced by a firm under perfect competition. Under perfect competition. Shutdown situation. And what is shutdown? You should stop production temporarily. Temporarily you should stop down the production. That is what is a shutdown condition. And see, a firm, let us say, has made already invested, has 2 types of cost, TVC and TFC. ये दोनों costs है. TC is made up of TVC and TFC. Now remember, fixed cost cannot be changed in short run. Cannot be changed in short run. Okay. So what happens is that a firm which operates in a rational way will not allow loss to be more than TFC. Okay, it will not allow the loss to be more than TFC, because if the loss is more than TFC, it better shut down. Okay, so therefore what you get is this condition: so long as price into quantity, if you look, should be greater than equal to total variable cost. Okay, price into quantity, that is the revenue, should be greater than total variable cost. If that happens, you will study in intermediate costing that the firm is able to recover its fixed costs. Okay, it can recover the fixed cost. Now, if the revenue is greater than equal to TVC, I can always write this like this: P into Q is greater than equal to AVC, average variable cost, into quantity. Okay, now if you look at this, you can cancel out Q on both the sides because Q is positive and greater than equal to 0. So if P should be greater than ABC. So this is, remember, or this is minimum of ABC. That is the condition for shutdown. And if you draw a diagram, price, cost, ABC, and this is quantity. A firm has average variable cost like this. So look at the minimum point here. If at any point price were to fall in this region, and this point is called a shutdown price. It's called a shutdown price. इसके नीचे price गई तो firm will just simply shut down and wait for the prices to recover. Okay, that is what is called the shutdown point. Is that clear? Have you got this? Are you fine with this? So you need to memorize this condition. Okay, what is the shutdown point for a firm under perfect competition? It is price falls below or equal to minimum at ABC, the firm will shut down. Okay, so in problem number 4, firm faces a shutdown situation when price is less than average variable cost, price is more than average variable cost, price is equal to fixed cost, price is more than average fixed cost. Okay, remember, fixed cost is not relevant in the short run when decision making. So C and D are not to be considered. So only it is A and B. In condition A, price is less than average variable cost. Okay, firm faces the shutdown. Okay, it faces shutdown when price is less than, remember, minimum A, B, C. Is that clear? So your answer here would have been 4A. The answer would have been A. Have you got this? Can I proceed? Okay, look at problem number 5. Okay, in problem number 5, a firm that makes profit in excess of normal profit is earning A, economic profit, B, costing profit, C, normal profit, D is supernormal profit. More than excess of normal profit, you would call that as D, supernormal profit. Supernormal profit. Did you get this? let us look at 6. Okay, a market state that satisfy all essential features of perfectly competitive market except identity of the product is known as, okay, this you need to know, this is monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is everything like perfect competition, but there is product differentiation. That is, each firm is selling a different product. Okay, let's look at 7. In short run, if price is above average total cost in a monopolistic competitive market, okay, price is above average total cost in monopolistic competition, the firm makes, yeah, it's very easy. Will the firm make profit or loss? Price into quantity is total revenue, ATC into quantity is total cost. So firm will make profit, that is for sure. And what else will happen? And bar entry of new firms? No, that's not possible. Market loses, losses and exit in the market, that's also not right. Quick profit and disappears, that is also very unlikely. So the only reasonable answer here is profit and new firms join the market. And new firms join the market. Okay, can I go ahead? Can I go to the 8th problem? Hello? Is that fine? Which of these is associated with monopolistic competitive market? Product differentiation, homogeneous product, normal in short run, single buyer. Okay, we have to write for monopolistic competition. What would be the answer? Which of the following, which of this is associated with monopolistic competition? So the answer is again A. Product differentiation. It is not homogeneous product and things like that. Okay, homogeneous product is in perfect competition. Okay, let's look at 9. In a competitive market, dash is the price maker. In a competitive market, dash is a price maker. Okay, this is a little tricky problem. I'm not so sure, so let us just leave it. Though I think the answer could be either industry or trade association. Both could be price makers, but I don't know what the problem setter meant. Okay, look at problem number 10. A monopoly demand curve. Okay, a monopoly demand curve is just price and quantity. It's a downward sloping demand curve. Okay, and since price is equal to also the average revenue, demand curve is also called the average revenue curve. Okay, in monopoly demand curve is the same as average revenue curve. For 10.1 it looks true. B, it's same as supply curve. No, it's same as demand curve. So AR curve in monopoly is same as AR curve is same as demand curve. Is same as demand curve. Okay, let's look at 11. In 11, which is the first order condition for profit of a firm to be maximized? Okay, remember, first order condition, that's how it is written in optimization, that the first order condition is that the marginal revenue should equal the marginal cost. First order condition for profit maximization is that the firm's marginal revenue should be equal to the marginal cost. Okay, so here the answer would have been 11B. Okay, it would have been B. Okay, let's look at 12. The AR curve and industry demand curve are identical. AR curve and the industry demand curve are identical. Yes, AR curve and industry demand curve are identical. Okay, that is when they are equal. So they will be equal if the firm is same as industry. If the firm is same as industry, then AR curve will be the demand curve, and this happens only in one condition, when you have a monopoly. Okay, in a monopoly case, you have a condition that the industry is equal to the firm, and the industry's AR curve is also the demand curve for the industry. Okay, right now everybody is concerned about this market because of US-Iran war, that is oil market. Okay, opaque is an example of, remember, opaque is a cartel of oil producing nations in the world. Oil producing nations in the world. Okay, it reads as Organization for Petroleum Exporting Countries. So this is a cartel, and it generally, you will find cartels to be there in oligopolistic market. Remember that they are generally the feature of oligopoly. So here the options given were perfect competition, monopolistic competition, monopoly, and cartel. So your choice should have been D, cartel. Okay, fine. Another 10 minutes we'll do the problem, then I'll give you a break. Okay, look at problem number 14. Means absence of competition. What means absence of competition? Means there is no competition. It means an absence of competition. Yeah, very good. No, it's not monopoly. Yeah? It is, for the last question, opaque is a, okay, absence of competition. Yeah, perfectly right. Yeah, monopoly. Very good. See, just very good, you got it. Means absence of, okay, in the long run, firm in perfect competition earns. Yeah, we have already seen this. It earns only a normal profit. Okay. All the other numerical measures, we don't know whether they are normal profit or not. Oligopoly means, yeah. What is the answer for this? Oligopoly means, is it one seller, few sellers, large number of sellers, no buyers? 16 is B. few sellers and just add one adjective here. That adjective is add few large sellers. A few large sellers would be the meaning of oligopoly. Okay, penetration pricing is adopted by following: low price, high price. Okay, penetration means trying to get as many customers as you can. Yeah, low price, absolutely good. Very, very good. And price skimming. In price skimming, you will do the other way around. It will be high price. Okay, so keep this opposites in mind. On the basis of area, markets are classified into. See, again, I am really not sure. Maybe it means a local market, local, state, or national, and global. So the answer could be 3 or 4 depending upon how many levels you decide. I don't know what they are trying to ask. Okay. Let's look at 19. Which of the following does not characterize monopolistic competition? Product differentiation, definitely it is a phase of monopolistic competition. Many producers, yes, it's a feature. Absence of advertising, no. In monopolistic competition, you have advertising. Partial control of overprice. Okay, so actually I would say C is the answer. Absence of advertising, because whenever you have product differentiation, advertising is also going to be an important part of your survival. Pricing for selling the same commodity at different selling prices is known as, what would you answer? Skimming price, differential pricing, penetration pricing, and cost plus pricing. Okay, pricing for selling the same commodity at different prices is known as, I would select in this little difficult, but I would select differential pricing. Differential pricing. That means you're not keeping pricing of any particular commodity fixed. Okay, we have almost finished this multiple choice questions. Okay, and some more stuff from chapter number 1 and 2 I will look at. But before we do that, let's take it. It's 4 now, so around 4:12 I will start the lecture again. Okay, in my computer time it's 4:02. I'm giving you a 10-minute break, and exactly in 10 minutes I will resume the class. And thank you for being there. Please try to come back, and let's hope we can finish a substantial chunk of even our chapter 1 here. Is that fine? Have you understood what I've said? Hello. Hello, can we take a 10-minute break and then we can meet? Okay, thank you. Hello. 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 Yeah, hello. Can you just confirm that you're able to hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. Perfect. I really appreciate your sincerity. Thanks for being in the class. That makes it easy for me to teach. Okay. Let's look at one topic which I had not explicitly discussed right at the beginning. Okay. This is a elementary or basic notions about economics. So I'm at page number 69 and I'm trying to discuss some of the introductory concepts in economics. Some of them you would have already learned when you have studied Introduction to Economics in 11th, 12th, or even in your first year's course. Okay. So the question number one: who is the father of economics? Okay. So generally, this question is answered with B. Adam Smith. Yeah, perfect. You're absolutely right. Adam Smith. Okay. Okay. Normative economic theory. Okay, norm म्हणजे हा is something kind of a rule. Okay, norm. The word normative comes from norm. Normative economic theory deals with normative economic theory. So it is not something about it, it's about rules or what are the do's and do nots. Okay. Okay, so normative economic theory deals with what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce, how the problem should be solved. Okay, here I would go with D. I'm not so sure why, but I would still go with D because it is dealing with how the problem should be solved. Okay, means what mechanism should you use? How the problem should be solved. I don't know. Let's check later what is the correct. Any other alternative answer is given. Okay. Microeconomic theory deals with A. Economy as a whole, B. Individual units, C. Economic growth, and D. All of the above. What would be the choice? Yeah, absolutely correct. Okay, very good. You have got that's right. In economics, goods includes material things which A can be transferred, can be visible, both A and B. None. In economics, goods. Okay, I would go with C. What's your in problem number 4? Can be transferred, is that can be visible? Okay, let's look at question number 5. Human wants are. Yeah, human wants are B, right? Unlimited. And that is what is the main reason why we have scarcity. Okay, I want you to write down this. Okay, this is something which I have not done. I don't know whether it was done in your earlier courses. PPF, right? What it means? It stands for production possibility frontier. Production possibility frontier. Okay, right? It provides possible outputs for the economy given capital, labor, land. Okay. Fine. Yeah, okay. So you mean to say that PPF curve is concave to the origin? Yeah, but before that, let's just look at the sum theory. And I would be happy if you know it, very good. But if you just, in case somebody doesn't know it, let's just revise. PPF stands for the production possibility frontier. It shows the possible, that's why it is called PPF. Output for the economy given its endowment of land, labor, capital. Okay? And suppose if you think of just two commodities, because only two commodities can be graphed. Suppose you think about a company is producing cars and rice. Okay? So if it uses all its resources, it can produce so much units of car. And if it uses all the land and labor and all everything, it can produce so many units of rice. Now, in between would be points where allocation is partly towards rice and partly towards cars. And for most of the countries, if you plot this PPF, it has this kind of a shape. Okay, and this kind of a shape is called B, concave to the origin. Concave to the origin. Okay, and why is it like this? It is like this because as you try to, suppose you are at this point and you try to make more cars, as you move your resources out of car production, rice production into car production, the productivity of resources starts declining, and therefore the opportunity cost will start rising. That is, this curve will become steeper and steeper. That's why the production possibility frontier is concave to the origin. Okay, a linear production, okay, just write one more thing here. A concave production possibility frontier shows increasing opportunity cost. Shows increasing opportunity cost. It shows increasing opportunity cost. Okay, and how do you know it's increasing? If I draw a tangent to this points on this curve, slope will start becoming more and more. Okay, now answer this seventh question. Production possibility frontier is linear. Okay, linear. Okay, and slope gives opportunity cost. Okay, linear means suppose this is car and this is rice. If it's a linear curve means there is no, it has a constant slope. So if it has a constant slope, it means it has a constant opportunity cost. Okay, and therefore for 7, problem number 7, the answer would be A. 7, it would be A, constant opportunity cost. And if it is a concave opportunity cost like this, then it would be increasing opportunity cost. Okay, did you get this? Can I move on? Okay, so let's look at problem number 8. Any point beyond the PPF. Okay, PPF shows you the maximum production possibility. Okay, suppose this is cars and this is rice. Okay, this is the maximum you can get. So any point which is beyond the PPF. So this is your PPF, and any point which is here, it is beyond the PPF. Oh, sorry. Just hello. Am I audible now? Is it clear? Hello. Yeah. Where did you miss? Did you get the linear production is a constant opportunity cost? Problem number 7. Yeah, okay, fine. So this, thanks. Keep alerting, that's very nice. So problem number 8 is a point which is beyond the PPF. PPF is the maximum production. So any point which is beyond the PPF, what will it show? Attainable, unattainable, both none. Is it attainable or unattainable? Yeah, correct. Absolutely right. Okay. So that's good. 8 is B. Okay, let us look at 9. If an economy is working at a point to the left of PPF curve, that shows. Okay, so here you know what happens. You have to always draw the graph. If you are in the exam also, don't try to solve this without any this thing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just making one call to the. Okay. So what it's saying. सर ह्याचा चार्जर नाही आहे आपला आयपॅडचा. Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, now let's look at 9. If the economy is working to the point to the left of the PPF, means you draw PPF like this, take any point to the left of this. Okay, this is unattainable, ये unattainable है, this is maximum possible trade-offs. So what will the point which is to the left of this indicate? What would the point to the left indicate? Will it indicate full employment, unemployment, excess production, none? Yes, correct. You got it right. Very good, brilliant. Okay. Point elasticity was propounded by. Okay. Okay, now this is something which is best, you know, history. You can look at, I would, my guess would be Marshall, okay, because he was the economist who worked with the concept of price elasticity of demand. Okay. Okay. So let's now look at 11. Luxury goods have. Okay. These are in a way incomplete problems, you know, but still let's solve this. Luxury goods have high price degree of elasticity. Generally this will be true. High degree of elasticity. The reason is that there are many substitutes for luxury goods, as against that necessary goods have very low substitutes. Demand for salt is inelastic because, I would want you to answer this question. What would be the answer? A low price, absence of it makes food tasteless. Indians like eat a lot of salt as compared to other countries. No substitutes. So A, B, C, all three look fine. So what would be our answer? D, correct. Absolutely right. All the three. Price elasticity of demand of a product will be more elastic if it has. Price elasticity of demand will be more elastic if it has no substitutes, has a number of substitute, an item is of necessity, it's a life-saving product. Yes, I am sure you'll. Perfect. Absolutely correct answer. Has number of substitutes. That's a correct understanding of elasticity. Okay. Now that's a numerical problem, so it's very good. Let's try to see if we can solve this. Price of a burger rises from 12 rupees a piece to 20 rupees a piece, as a result of which sales decrease from 300 units to 200 pieces a day. The price elasticity of demand is estimated as. Okay, no way we can do this unless we solve it. So make a table and say put P1, Q1, P2, Q2. So we are told that the price of burger was 12 rupees and from there it went on to 20 rupees. And the sales was initially 300 and then it became 200. So the numerical question is, what is the price elasticity of demand? So now remember, the formula for price elasticity is percentage change in quantity demanded. Okay, percentage change in quantity demanded. Change in quantity demanded upon percentage change in price. Okay, upon percentage change in price. Okay, so now this, let us try to calculate with this formula. What is the change in quantity? New quantity is 200. Old quantity was 300. Okay, and I am keeping the formula very simple. So I am looking at this as prices. Quantity was initially 300, right? From 300 it has changed to 500, and similar, multiply this by 100, and in the same way calculate for price. Price has gone up from 20, so new price is 20 minus 12 upon the base was 12 into 100. Okay, so can you solve this? Can you check this numbers, what it means? 100 and 100 will simply cancel out here. Okay, and initially what I will be left with is minus 100 in the numerator upon 300. So that also simplifies to 1/3. And this 20 minus 12 will go to 8. 8 upon 12, that is, if you further simplify this will be minus 1 upon 3. And this is 4 2s are 8 and 4 3s are 12. Now again do the division. Minus 1 upon 3 divided by 2 by 3 is equal to minus 1 upon 3 into 3 by 2. So it is minus 1 upon 2. Okay, 3 and 3 getting cancelled. So I would say 0.5, because in the last step I am omitting the negative sign. Okay, could you calculate this? Have you got how the calculation is done here? And I hope I am being audible. Okay, perfect. Very good. So, if you get a numerical problem, just remember you have to solve and answer. No guesswork. Okay, just solve it and answer. Okay, if this is 15th problem, let us check what it is. Increase in price will increase in total revenue. Okay, if the percentage change in quantity demanded is greater than the percentage change in price. Okay, before I look at the options, I want to look at where this is going to happen. So just look, we write P into Q, that is your total revenue. We are told that total revenue has gone up, price has also gone up, but when price goes up, quantity declines, right? So if price goes up, quantity declines, but it should decrease by less than the percentage increase in price. Okay, so if the percentage change in quantity demanded is greater than the percentage change in price. No, it cannot be percentage change in quantity. If it's more, then actually total revenue will fall. So first is not correct. So look at B. What is B? Percentage change in quantity demanded is less than percentage change in price. Yes, this is what is most likely to be the correct answer. But let's look at C. Percentage in quantity demanded is equal to percentage change in price. If that happens, then total revenue will remain fixed. It will neither increase nor decrease. Okay, so our answer here would have been B. Okay, are you getting it? Did you get how to solve this? Yeah, very good. Okay, let us look at problem number 16. Okay, 16. If price elasticity of demand for wine is estimated to be -6, or price elasticity of demand for wine is -6, means 1% increase in price of wine will cause 6 percentage point fall in demand. When price increases by 20%, okay, I think there is a mistake here, because if the quantity demanded will fall, for every percentage price increase, the price of wine is going to fall by 6. So this will be 6 into 20 and percent. So this would be 120%. Okay, but this option is not given here. Okay, so I don't know, is there any other way you can think of solving this? X upon 20% is equal to -6. So what is this 6%? Okay. If you take this 100 and 100 will cancel, this will become minus 120. So it would be like I don't know, let's go ahead. 70. I think there's a drafting error in this problem. Okay, just circle it. Find if there's anything of this in the internet. Which of the following is not a factor in market supply of a product? Which of the following, in problem number 17, which of the following is not a factor in market supply of a product? Cost of production, definitely it will be. Number of buyers, will keep this in a question mark. Market price of the product, yes. Supply depends on market price. Price of related products. Okay, that is your substitutes. Okay, so market price of the product, yes. Price of related products will also have an impact. I would check number of buyers. I don't know whether that would be right, but my guess would be number of buyers. I don't know. Is that what you will agree with? Yeah. Is not a factor in market supply of a product. So cost of production is, market price is, price of related products is also, either it could be B or D, but my hunch is that it would be B. Can we proceed? Can I proceed? 18, let us try to do. Which of the following will have highly inelastic supply? Highly inelastic supply. Means supply should be like fixed. Highly inelastic supply. Perishable products, consumer durable goods, items of elite class consumption, all of the above. I would say perishable products will have highly inelastic supply. You cannot change it. Would you agree? 18A. 18A. Hello, are you there? Can you? Yeah, perfect, fine. Okay, we'll try to, I'll close the lecture in another 20 minutes. So in 2 hours we'll finish. But try to focus, okay? This is important. The supply function of a product is given by 5px plus 3. Supply is given by 5 times px plus 3. What is the quantity supplied when price is 2? S when P is equal to 2. Can you quickly calculate this and tell me what will be the answer without looking at the options? All that you have to do is that it would be 5 into the price 2 plus 3. So what is this? 10 plus 3, which is equal to 30. Fine, is it clear? 19th problem. The answer is B. Yeah, correct. The answer is B. Okay, let's look at problem number 20. Dash is the functional relationship between physical inputs and physical output. Functional relationship, because we are told about a functional relationship between inputs and outputs. Demand and supply definitely not correct. Cost of production is also not. I'm not sure if there is anything like an input-output function that we have studied in the beginning of economics. So my hunch would be to go with production function. But do check what is the answer that they are saying for 20. But I think it should be production function or input-output function. What is it? Okay, they are saying input-output function, but that is not a very standard input-output function. But variable factor means those factors of production. Okay, variable factors are those factors of production which can only be changed in the long run. No. Which can be changed in the short run. Yes. Which can never be changed. So between A, B and C only B looks correct. Neither A is right nor C is right. So D is also not right. So the variable factor means those factors of production which can be changed in the short run. Okay, so 21 I would say is B. Let's look at 22. All factors of production become variable in the medium run, short run, long run, none of the above. What's the answer? What do you think is the answer? All factors of production become variable in the long run. Okay. What is the maximum TP? Okay. Remember, maximum TP means total production. Okay. So you have an input, say labor, and we are talking about total product, the maximum total product. Okay. What will be this point of maximum total product? Okay, remember it is given by the condition that this derivative should become 0. So the derivative is 0 when marginal product is equal to 0. Okay, it is the condition that marginal product becomes 0. Okay, so did you get this? 23rd. So let's look at 24. Yeah, you are able to concentrate. I hope you are able to concentrate. At the point of inflection, TP will generally show decreasing or increasing trend equal to 0, be negative. Okay, inflection point means, remember what it is. Total product is like this. It is initially increasing at an increasing rate, then its curvature changes. This is convex. After that it becomes concave. So it's increasing at a decreasing rate. This point will be called as the inflection point. And this is called a total product curve. It's not a very correctly drafted options, show decreasing or increasing trend. I think it would be, I would go with, I should have said it should have shown a decreasing trend. I don't know, but because what happens till here, the slope is increasing, then here the slope starts decreasing. So it is increasing, it's increasing at a decreasing rate. And here it is increasing at increasing rate, and point of inflection is where it gets separated. So I don't know why is the 24, let's check. 24. Okay, is shows increasing or decreasing trend, but that cannot be in the case of total product. Okay, it can be inflection point for a general curve. Marginal product is above the average product. It must be that. Okay, draw the diagram. So you have something like this AP curve, average product, and you have a marginal product. Okay, so remember, marginal product cuts the AP curve, AP of the product from above at its maximum point. So marginal product of labor is below the average product. Okay, it's below the average product. It must be true that marginal product of is negative. No, it need not be negative. It must be zero. Marginal product of labor is falling. Okay, marginal product is negative. So only this one is right. Marginal product is decreasing. Okay, that's the only correct statement about it. So the answer should be marginal product of labor is falling. So for 25, the correct answer would be C. Have you got the diagram? AP and MP. AP is like this. MP cuts it from above at its maximum point. Okay, so let us look at, let's do another 10 minutes. Let's try to focus. Why does the law of increasing returns operate? Oh, this is a very important question. Mark it. Law of increasing returns. Okay. Why does it operate? Definitely it happens because of the point A. Full use of fixed indivisible factors, efficiency of variable factors, need to reach the right combinations, all of the above. Okay, so A looks correct, B looks correct, C looks correct, so D is the right answer here. It is because of all of the above. 26. Okay, a rational producer operates in. Okay, remember, write this quickly. 27. If you the law of total product and labor, it's like this, then it becomes like this and goes negative. Okay, where it starts falling and where it is increasing. This is stage 1, this is stage 2, and this is stage 3. This stage 3 is called irrational zone. It is called an irrational zone. No firm will operate here. And stage 1 is called the increasing returns. Generally firms will produce past this increasing returns. So firms will generally operate in this second zone, which is also called the rational So, okay. So, for 27, the answer would be B. Rational. So, internal and external. Internal economies and diseconomies arise due to overall industry level changes, changes at the firm level, both A and B, neither A and B. Okay, internal, the word internal is a giveaway here. Internal economies and diseconomies. Internal economies and diseconomies are mainly due to A. Overall, sorry, it's all beauty. B. Change at firm level. Change at firm level. 29. Identify the correct statement. The average product is at a maximum when marginal product is equal to average product. Yeah, that's right. So you'll get a average product like this and a marginal product which is like this. AP and MP. So whenever the marginal product cuts the average product, it is at its maximum. Identify the correct statement. Average product is at maximum when marginal product is equal to average product. Law of increasing returns to scale to the effect of change in factor proportions. Economies of scale arise because of indivisibilities in factor proportions. Internal economies of scale can accrue only to the exporting sector. Okay, 29A for sure is correct. Okay, in the primitive age, the factors of production were mainly capital, land, labor, or both land and labor. Yes, it is D, land and labor. 30. Okay. Mode of production was propounded by B. Karl Marx. Labor surplus is the difference between value of output minus value of materials used, value of fixed land used, value of capital used. I think none of this. 32D. Okay, 33. Socialist nature of an economy means income and wealth are owned by capitalists income and wealth are owned by labor class. Income and wealth are owned by state and public. All, definitely it is not all. Okay, so it could be B or C. It could be B or C. Okay, C. Income and wealth are owned by state and public. Capitalist economy means wealth and income of the country are owned by state, landowners, state and public, the bourgeoisie. Okay, so Marx used the term bourgeoisie, so that is what it would be. According to Dash, economics is the study and science of wealth. According to J.B. Say, the book Principles of Economics was written by Marshall. Okay, 36 Marshall. What is the central problem of all economies? What to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce? All of the above. Yes, it is all of the above. Okay, which is not the scope of macroeconomics. Theory of welfare, theory of inflation, theory of economic growth, theory of trade cycles. 38A. Okay. Deductive method is also called okay, 40 is the last one we will solve. Okay. Stock of goods under ownership of a person is called personal wealth. Savings are accumulated, 41 savings are accumulated into wealth. The purchasing of new shares by the company is called portfolio investment.